feel you watching me. Pull up across the room. I think you like the view. You gonna make a move. I don't make this easy for you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Good Luck Sis. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Good Luck Sis. I'm gonna keep saying it like this so it can be a practice. And for those who don't know why I keep saying Good Luck Sis like that, make sure to tune in to our episode that we just released, I want to say the month before. And just check it out because you'll know why. I'm your host, Ellie.
And I'm your host, Jay.
And today we have with us a lovely guest. I'm happy to introduce Obelle.
Welcome. Good luck, sis. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
So I have the privilege of having Obelle here with us. And Obelle is here with me in Dallas. She's more of like a sister in love.
Yes, I love that. I love using that.
I got it from you.
Yes.
For those who don't know what sister in love is, just look it up somewhere. I don't know. Figure it out.
A better version of
Trust me.
sister-in-law. A better
Yes.
version of sister-in-law.
Exactly. So we're so happy to have you on the podcast.
Me too.
So Obelle has a variety of things that she does. She is actually a content creator.
Yes, she is.
So we have her here as the co-founder of SaveSouls, but she actually is a content creator. If you guys go on her page, she'll share with you guys information. But on her page on Instagram, she creates IG posts, different content. She collabs with different people. So she does a variety of things. So why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, well, thanks, Dali. I love that. But besides all things, and when people tell me, like, tell me a little about yourself, and I had to kind of redirect myself now in the way that I present myself because everybody usually associate who they are with what they do.
Yeah.
Now I had to kind of like, okay, through many therapy sessions and all of my things, I had to kind of realize, okay, you know what, who am I?
Yeah.
And I love that you were saying all these things, but it kind of like got me thinking. First and foremost, I'm so happy to be here. You guys are doing such a great job. And you guys keep it real on your podcast. So I really commend y'all for that. But who am I? I'm really just a child of God, just trying to live my life purposefully and just making sure that I'm living authentically. And that's really who I am. I'm a sister and I'm a wife.
Yes.
I'm a wife, okay? I'm a wife and I love it. Also, I just love people and I just love family, you know, family oriented. I just love loving on people. I love connecting with people. And that's just the core essence of who I am. You know, some of the things that you mentioned, you know, I do some things or that. I'm a mental health advocate person. I'm big on that. That's why I'm here. And also, I do a little bit of content creating.
Not a little.
I mean, okay, so...
Don't just you can talk your stuff. Talk your shit.
I know, but I say it like that because
I want to stop correcting us, and like we do this a lot. I think it's like on TPT Haitians.
I'm just
a little for my little business. Stop with the little.
Yeah.
I know.
Just talk your shit.
Yes. I love it. But I do content creating. I think God has called me to do it because I feel like right now I'm trying to focus on making sure that people get to hear about God in different aspect of things. You know, like I am big on mental health advocating for mental health. I want to advocate for people to have authentic relationship with God on my platform. And you know, if you want to know a little bit of thing about fashion, although I'm not fashionably dressed up right now, but you know, you could find that as well. And you just a little bit of everything lifestyle, but you know, just making sure you're living your true self and just making sure that, you know, everything that you are going through life, if I can be a person that you can look up to kind of like be inspired by those things, then so be it. But just overall living balanced life through the lens of Christ. So
and I feel like anybody can really connect on your page if they go on there. That's why it's like it's a variety of different things. Like if you want fashion, you got fashion. If you want to talk about journaling, about God, that's there on there. So it's just like it's a variety of things.
Yeah,
which I love.
For sure. Yeah.
So.
And I'm also Haitian. Add that in there. We're so prideful.
We
are.
Very prideful.
On this podcast, we remind everyone. We always remind
I'm
people
Haitian,
that
just
we're
in case you
Haitian.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of that.
You
Awesome.
should be.
Yeah.
So before we start, we like to do a little icebreaker just so we can,
Look at her face. She's like,
relax.
she's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, let's just be chill. We're good. We're having a
I'll
good
take
time.
it in. I'll take it in.
So, first icebreaker is what's one thing that always brings a smile to your face, no matter how tough your day has been?
Oh,
I think I want to know your answer.
that is a very good. Oh my God, that's a very good question. Well, to be honest, oh my goodness, that's a very good question. I would say to be very frank, if I have bad days, I realize that obviously my connection with God, I'm very spiritual now. Like I am a PK, but sometimes like we can kind of neglect.
We know about the PK.
Oh Lord, I will tell you my story about that one. Lord, I have some traumas. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like my just connecting with God and kind of reflecting and being grateful kind of gets me out of that mindset. Because too often times we just think about what we don't have, or, oh my gosh, this is such a horrible day. Like, why is this? And I'm just like, you know what? Just calm down, Obelle. There are people out there that have it way worse, like very bad right now. So just be grateful in this moment that it's not worse than it could have been. So like just thinking about the goodness of God and where I am right now and the people that are probably having it not so good kind of keeps me happy, and just and obviously thinking about my family, making sure that they're good, thinking about that, okay, their well-being is okay, positive mind. So I try to redirect my mind and not stay within that
negative thought.
Yeah, because I can.
That happens often.
I can have a lot of negative thoughts, but it's just redirecting yourself and telling yourself, it's okay. Things will be better. Yeah. So yeah.
What about you, Tati?
Puts a smile on my face when I'm having a bad day. I don't know. I never thought about that. What makes me happy, Lord?
That's about to have more therapy
session. Right? Be happy. Well, they don't know. I have my little cousin who lives with me now, so that's a lot. But he makes me happy. Like when I'm just like, oh, work, I'm like, okay, but I get to come home and come to him.
Yeah.
So I guess like having more of a purpose that's not for myself, but to know that I'm truly impacting someone else's life in a great way. So yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, nice. That makes me smile.
What about you, Dali?
What makes me happy at the moment in my life right now? What makes me happy is my fiance.
Oh,
that's so really happy. Like if I'm having a bad day, once we get together, like it just it makes me better.
Okay, we got the love gods over here.
Yeah, he makes me really happy.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Are we gonna say that your fiance is her husband's brother? Are we not? We say it's her love. Are we gonna make the connection? That's what it is.
We gotta make the connection.
We're making the connection. Trivia question.
Jeez, I love how you just got that in there.
Yes, Tati's cousins. If you guys don't know.
Yes.
I love seeing you guys though. It's just so beautiful to see.
I remember the first time Obelle realized that we were dating. She was like, we went to her house and she was like giving us the eye, like, "Oh, is this a thing?"
Listen, if it wasn't. I was rooting. I was like, "Bro, if you don't lock this girl down, I'm gonna poop."
I love it. Girl supporting girl.
Yes.
All right. Share one self-care practice or activity that helps you relax and recharge.
Oh yeah.
I know you're big on self-care. Yes. I know I took you away from your self-care Sunday.
Yes.
This girl is consistent with her self-care Sundays.
It is Sunday today.
It's Sunday today.
Or talking about mental health.
Yes.
So another form of self-care.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I had to really work so hard on that, to be honest. Because self-care, like we all neglect.
Yes.
And it's like, especially if you're Haitian, it's like, oh, we have to go travail, go l'église, faire this, faire that. And I realized all of this can add so much pressure, so much pressure. So for me, my self-care, now I take the Sundays, like you said, girl, I take my Sundays off. I'm watching something. I'm doing my self-care routine, my skincare routine. I'm sorry. I try to exercise lately. I've been slacking off, but I try to exercise. Journaling is a big thing now that I've incorporated that with my Bible studying. That is really big for me. Like it really helps you reflect. And yeah, that's overall what I do. I just really make sure I take care of my skin, just sit down. Oh, watch a lot of
K-drama.
K-dramas. A lot of K-dramas. A lot of K-dramas.
Now K-drama people, this is your girl. If you want to know K-drama,
thanks to the bestie. The bestie put me on.
Your bestie.
Yes, and sister-in-law. They put me on, man. They put me on, and I love it.
That's good. What about you, Tati?
What was the question again?
I love Tati. She's like, what did you say?
Share one self-care or activity that helps you relax and recharge.
Relax and recharge.
Yes.
I mean, I always say this. I'm an only child. I love TV.
Yeah.
TV will always be my safe haven. Like, I could be having a bad day, pay Netflix, Hulu, something. So if you guys have TV shows, please put me on because TV is my love language. Like, that is what I do. And I feel like that's good because it's like when I was in therapy, it's like self-care, self-love, but it's like, what's a form of daily love? Like, let's not just do self-care on a Sunday and love yourself only one day out of the week.
That's true.
What's something you can do every day that is like,
Yeah.
That's good.
good.
I love
And I watch TV every day. So there we go. I show myself love and relaxation through that every day. And I would also say, like, I don't, maybe not exercise, but the type, like walking, I've really gotten into walking the past couple of months. And even though it is a form of exercise, it's just listen to my podcast, listen to my music. And honestly, just like me walking through, like, all right, girl, each step is this that's going to lead to you looking like this. Like, it helps knowing that I'm doing something that's relaxing, but also achieving a goal.
Yes,
at the same time.
yes.
So I think definitely shifting your mind frame to like everyday things can be a form of stuff, but we just get so used to it.
Yep.
But it's like just changing that mindset.
That's good.
Yeah. I
love
never thought of it until she brought up daily love, and I'm like, look at things. What is my daily love?
Yeah. Like, how do I love myself?
I was reading something that said there's a study that shows that we all have our comfort shows.
Yes.
And I realized that my comfort show has been Gilmore Girls.
Yep, I rewatched it recently
really?
too.
I love Gilmore Girls. It's my comfort show. Do you have, I know you watch K-drama, One Tree Hill, but there's a lot of trauma in One Tree Hill.
There's another one too that I currently, y'all, I don't know if y'all into that stuff, but my sister and I, that's kind of like our bonding time. So we do like we watch a reality TV show, The Bachelorette.
Oh, okay.
And I know it's everyone's like, that's our comfort show, but we bond through it. So that's what we watch. We're like, oh, okay, it's on. It's like, what are those people doing? But you just still watch it.
Whenever I'm having a bad day at work, Gilmore Girls is time. Gilmore Girls time.
I never watched that show.
It's a good show.
Really?
It's a good show, yeah.
And then after all these years, I realized Lane is SDA.
No way.
Lane is SDA. Yeah.
Yeah, in the show.
In the show.
She is.
Oh, wait, in the show.
In the show, she's SDA. So they portray like a Seventh-day Adventist mom,
Asian mom,
very strict.
Wow.
So in Lorelai kind of makes me only child. She kind of reminds me of myself.
Yeah.
Like I'm very like jokingly humorous around my mother, and she's the same with her mother. My mom's always looking at me like, this is not a joke. Like, you always think everything's a joke. Yeah. Appropriate. So yeah, that's my comfort show. Whenever I'm having a bad day, that's therapy for me. It just makes me feel they just live in a town that's so perfect. Right?
Peculiar at the same
time. It's just like, I wish the world was like that. You know? And it's also in 2000, the early 2000s. So it's just like, life was simple. So it's like my mental health day
getaway.
Getaway. My daily.
I'll get into that. And
my
see
daily
if I like
love.
it.
Yeah, try it.
It's good.
All right, and our last icebreaker is: if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self about mental health, what would it be?
That is a very, very good question. Now, I struggle so much. I struggle so much giving myself advice. But I think. How can I phrase this so that it could just be in one?
Yeah.
I would say stop rushing life. Stop rushing life. Take your time, because everything that is meant to happen will happen in due time.
What do you take mine for? You're in my head?
I don't know.
You're in my head? That was exactly mine.
Yeah, because I suffer with anxiety, and I had to kind of learn that, early on that, okay, we get anxious about life. I'm pretty sure a lot of us really can relate to that. But it's just that your timing is going to always be perfect. Timing's everything. And it's like, you might be somewhere in life right now, but you wake up 10 years from now, you laughing because, oh my gosh, I used to stress about this. And look at where I am today. It's like, God is good. Like, so just stop rushing the small process. Just take the small little steps day by day and give yourself grace, because at the end of the day, we all navigating life and it's not easy, but just make sure that you take care of yourself, mentally, spiritually, physically, in all aspects, and then just God will take care of the rest.
That's
just
true.
do your part.
That's right.
I think mine would be stop extending yourself to others when you need yourself more. Because then it's like you become that go-to person. And I'm tired. Like, it's like when you're the only person who can do it, because it's kind of like, I would say there's certain family members that, you don't call for favors because it's like, they ain't going to do it. I want to be the ain't going to do it family member. Because it's like, because there's no one else, it's always going to be you. And there's a good sense of knowing people can count on you. Like, you have that responsibility. People trust you. But there's also like no one else has that responsibility. Why does it have to be me?
Silent Lou.
It is. And they don't realize that. Or it's like, it's just, let me sit back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to always be the responsible one.
Or you're like the kind of the older one in your family.
Yeah, like I don't always want to be the perfect one. Especially when you're the only child, you can't mess up.
Oh my God.
Because they don't got another one they can't redo.
Oh my God.
There's no redo, so it's all on
redo.
you. So that just makes, okay, I gotta be this, I gotta be this, I gotta be this. Okay, what am I gonna be for myself?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're all Haitian here, because I want to bring this up. So as a Haitian, millennial, first generation in America, what is something you guys will do that's different? As in, like, with like relying on your kids, your nieces, like, putting all the shy on them. Like, our families do that a lot. So do you guys feel like you guys would try your best to do things a little different? What is it that you see around this time in our generation with our parents, our family? How can we make it better so we don't put so much of the burden on our next generation? What can we do different? Because life is going to change. Technology is going to be different. Things are going to look different. We're always going to need the next generation to show us. So what do you think could be done differently?
I think showing appreciation more, and also not making things that aren't a big deal a big deal. Like, I always say, like, yo, mom, I didn't get pregnant. I'm not, no offense to anyone's journey.
Yeah.
We already know in the Haitian household, I didn't get pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm not on drugs. Like, I didn't, the major sins, I'm perfect. Like, if we're going to compare it to that. But it's still the, like, oh, you going out? Or like, even, it's so little.
Simple thing.
It's so little. So it's not even, it goes beyond, mommy, I'm 28 years old. What are we talking about? So it goes beyond, like, this is not enough for you that you still have something else to say. Like, it's just kind of like, what can I give you, where the mouth will be silenced, or when you speak, it will be like, wow, go ahead, have fun.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of months ago, I was going to the Kirk Franklin and Maverick City concert.
I went to that too.
Yes. And I told my mom, I'm going, you can't go. We'll come back when they got 2 years more, and then like big crowds and stuff like that.
Trauma.
And I literally was like,
trauma.
Right? Through therapy, I'm able to articulate. And instead of, I was annoyed, but I was like, mommy, it hurts me when every time I go out, it's never, be safe, have fun, I love you. And I was like, mommy, just say, have fun, I love you, be safe. Those words couldn't even leave her mouth. And I know, where was I going last year? I think to New York with Ashley. And I don't know, she was upset because I don't know, my mom is jealous of me. She want to live my life.
What do I always say?
Yeah, she want to live my life.
I always say, my mother is my biggest hater.
Exactly.
She's my biggest. Your haters are gonna watch you on the side, support you, but when you tell them, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," or "Why you do," like,
exactly.
She's like that.
They never want to see you win. And I was like, okay, bye, mommy, I love you. And then nothing.
And
if I had the power of God,
and
this is so crazy, I wish something would happen to me for you to realize,
wow,
my last chance to say I love you to my daughter, I was being petty and selfish. Because they, as much as they put fear in us, oh, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Say I love you. But because you're so petty and you're so upset, you take away a loving moment just to hold what over my head. I may not be here tomorrow. How are you going to live with yourself? So it's just like, be grateful for the kids you have. Stop putting unnecessary stress. Say I love you. Say have fun. Say be safe. Because it's like, why don't you want me to be happy?
Yeah. And you see, I love that she mentioned through therapy, she was able to know how to articulate and say to her mother how she feels. And why can't you say this instead of that? Like, I think that's really big. And to be honest, like, as I've grown, well, I guess in my years now, I'm pretty old. Not really, guys.
She's not old.
You're old. We're old. No, not at all. No, but I what I noticed is that I had to realize that our parents, they could only give what they have, right? They can only do and replicate what they know.
Yeah.
So for me now, obviously with therapy, understanding that just don't take it personal. A lot of times our parents are basically passing on down things that have been happening from their generation, right? So we're just have to be very conscious and mindful and understand that, you know what? My parents did that. I don't want to do that, you know? And I don't no longer, and it's going to be hard to get them to break out of that cycle. We have to stop the cycle.
Yeah.
We have to be the one to stop the cycle.
And that's why we have to have these conversations.
Exactly.
Like it's so sad. It's like, when my kids go on a trip for their birthday, oh girl, have fun, tell me all about it. Like I want to be happy for my kids.
I want to pray with them before going on.
Yes.
That makes me feel less worried. You know, I pray, God is with you, you know? But every time, like you say, I have the same issue. When my mom knows I'm going on a trip, never happy.
Yeah.
You got that money, you went on a trip. It wasn't it yesterday? Trip. And it's like, I can't share my life with you. I can't share the
I'm
going out with Tati.
It has nothing to do with each other. It's just like, why do you have to step outside of the house?
That is so crazy.
No,
I had an actual different experience, which is so interesting because even though my parents were a little bit, strict and stuff because I'm a PK and you can't do certain things, there's so much pressure to be perfect. But my mom actually, I don't know how, I think she just mastered how to make you feel bad without doing it. And so it's like, she will do it, but it's like...
So she has the PhD of the Haitian mother.
Yeah, so because me and my mother are kind of like really, really close. So what she will do is that she know I have sensitive spot for her. So she will say things and... Well, technically, we would call it manipulation, but I was just thinking, I'm like, not your mother, to them, it's not really like a manipulative thing because it's like, oh, I care about you so much. I want you to be okay. I want you to be safe. And you know that, because you see, you're saying you want that, but that could also be a form of, because they know your weakness. It's like, oh my gosh, if my mom says something and then I'm going to just listen and not, like just go anywhere because it's like, she wants me to be safe and I don't want her to be worried. So out of that love for her, I'm not going to do that, So
like, if only they knew, because all the time when I'm in a dangerous situation or I'm in a car and someone's, I'm like, oh, celle petite maman avec so it's like, if they knew the steps I took to make sure nothing happens to me because I care about you so much, and you over here, and I'm just like, sis, you don't. The petty side of me, the overdramatic side, like, sis, you don't even deserve a good daughter like me. Because let me run it back. Let's go back to high school. Let me do the things that I didn't do specifically out of respect for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because let me show you. What can judge me? Like, let me show you how it could have been.
That's crazy.
I think that's great that you guys brought up as a community, just showing appreciation. Because I think our parents, they look at other parents, like other people in their circle, and they're like, oh, petite
comparing.
So is doing that. So let me do
damaging.
Try to say this and that. I'm at this point in my life where my mom, I think one of her friends, little friends, kids are getting their PhD. She's like, well, go back to school. I'm like, no, mom. No. I've reached my highest level. Like, we're not doing that. And appreciate what I've accomplished now.
Yeah. It's a lack of satisfaction because what it is that they want to live through you sometimes too. They want to make sure that, okay, the things that I wasn't able to do, then you can do it.
Right.
So then they will tell you, oh yeah, do this or go do that or go study doctor or be a lawyer. Because what it is to them is that that's what they know. Like they feel like, okay, I need to tell my kid what's going to be bring security to them. So it's like, I'm going to tell them, okay, this is the best route. And to their defense, that's all they know, So it's like, they're not going to go out there and tell you something they don't understand that we have knowledge about. Like, okay, nowadays you don't have to have a degree to make $1 million if you stay consistent and grind. And actually, they don't know that. They just know that route, which is okay. But it's up to us to kind of know now how to react to that. You have the control and the power to know, okay, you know what? They don't know better. So I'm just going to...
That's what I've learned. Like,
we need to do better because as a community, we need to sit down with our friends and just reflect on how did we grow up, how to not pass these traumas, how to not treat our kids because it's just the pressure that they put on us, the stress. It creates anxiety, it creates stress because not only now when she was like, oh, you should go get your PhD, it makes me feel a little like I didn't accomplish
She didn't
anything.
do
Yeah.
anything.
So yeah, I did end up. One thing she knows is how to get into my. I ended up started looking into it, and I was just like,
what's it called?
I know. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
Like, I cannot
yeah.
go
So
back
it's not
to
for
school.
you.
My best friend actually went through that
me.
same thing.
And it's just like you're creating stress.
Yeah,
You know,
trauma,
and I need to
necessarily.
accept that. And this morning, I think I was sharing this with you guys, is that at this grown age, I'm learning how to create what is success for me
For you.
and what is success to my parents.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I want to reach that, because so far everything I've accomplished is also for me, but it's really, I want to see in their face, oh,
Good
Yeah.
job. But that's the thing,
Yeah.
we don't get it.
we don't.
You get it for 2 seconds, and then it's like, what else?
Because-
I remember after my diploma came in for my master's, and my mom was like, to God, merci bon Dieu, merci bon Dieu. And I'm looking at her like, okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah,
Good job.
yeah.
But it's like, they'll tell you good job, but I think my expectations is different. And my words of affirmation is not my love language.
That's mine.
Not from my friends, but I think my words of affirmation is my love language from my parents.
Mm.
Like, I want to hear, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. This
Yeah.
is amazing. Like, boost me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, say it every day.
They
Yeah.
don't get that though.
They
You have to
don't.
think they never got that
They
from their
don't.
parents, because it's like, oh, all they have to do is just go do this and take care of your
what you're
kids
supposed
and
to
whatever.
do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, by the way, they expect, you're supposed to take care of them back. That's why you're doing this. You gotta recycle. The cycle keeps going on and on and on. So it's like, to them, and trust me, it's so heartbreaking. And since we're on the topic of trauma and generational trauma, that's literally what makes the child feel like, oh my gosh, I am not like, everything that I'm doing is so that I can expect back some type of gratification from my partner. So it's like, you end up marrying somebody, and the person that say good job, oh my gosh, I'm just longing to please you and you. So those are the little small little things
you're
that happen in your childhood.
Your trauma from your childhood.
Get to your marriages and the relationship
Maybe
you
that's
have
why my
with
love language
people.
words of affirmation, because I didn't get that.
It's a lot of us, to be honest.
Yeah. Everybody likes to hear that they're doing a good
Yeah.
job,
Oh, you're doing a good job.
Yo, that song is really good.
Therapy happening.
Yeah, a real therapy session. Oh my goodness.
For real.
So let's dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So what is Safe Soul, and how did Safe Soul become Safe Soul?
Wow, that's a long journey of
Yeah.
explanation. But let me start from the beginning. I believe it was in 2018. But actually, no, 2017. So 2017, I guess I was back in, like in my dad's church and stuff like that, doing, I'm always in the youth ministry. And we did a forum for the youth, and we had it based on, so it was a back to school forum for, the young adults or the youth at the church at the time. And my focus, I wanted it to be about mental health, because I'm like, okay, the kids are going, I want them to be mentally fit, just like they're going to be spiritually fit, or whatever they have to get done. But mentally, you need to be fit. And what I noticed among the children, or not the children, the teenagers,
adults,
the young adults or teenagers, is that I had a panel of professional licensed therapists to kind of come and talk to them and answer their questions and stuff like that. And a lot of them were coming up with, what if you're having thoughts of suicide? And by the way, I kind of like make sure that their parents weren't there. That way they can feel comfortable to share what is, in their hearts. And a lot of them, I was so shocked, Dali. Like, guys, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. All of them are dealing with mental health problems.
Yes.
They're like, oh yeah, I've been feeling depressed or down, or, and sometimes I just want to hurt myself to make myself feel better. And I want to just get away from things. And what do you do to deal with certain things like that? And it was just like, it turned out into it gave me like a call, how would I say that?
Epiphany.
Like, oh my gosh, this is so important.
Yeah.
Especially in the Haitian community. And I'm like, okay, overall Afro-Caribbeans, we do not care so much about the mental aspect
There's
of
a
things.
stigma.
It's always about the educational aspect, socioeconomic, and all of that stuff. But the mental health or spiritual aspect, or prier à l'église and all of
you
that.
Don't need a therapist.
You don't need
God.
a therapist. It's okay. It's all fine. And then to continue on that journey, because I was so in church, it's like, even if I was feeling what I was feeling and depressed and all that stuff, I actually didn't even notice that I was depressed until obviously I went to nursing school and I realized, oh shoot, those are all the symptoms. Okay, yeah, I guess I am dealing with a little bit of depression and anxiety, things like that, and things happening with the pressure of, from me having to keep up that perfect lifestyle because I am a PK and you can't mess up. You can't say the wrong thing at the wrong person. It's like if you say something, pressure. So many pressure going on. Oh, you have to be good at this. You have to be good at that. So all of this kind of played a factor, and God called me to say, you know what, maybe you need to start an organization to kind of bring mental health awareness. So from there, I moved on to a collaboration with a couple of federations, and I did a concurrent event where it happened in New York, Massachusetts, and Florida, and all at the same time on the same day. I had multiple panelists of professionals, therapists to actually bring awareness that day, and we had one thing that one hashtag I choose to live, and to make sure that everybody come in with anonymous questions and asking questions anonymously, and those therapists, panelists will answer those questions out there and bring awareness to that subject, especially in the Afro-Caribbean community. And then from there, after that event, my cousin, which is the co-founder, she was on her side doing sexual trauma workshops for people who, suffer from sexual trauma. And so she was doing her own thing on the side, and we reconnected. She's like my first cousin, right? So we reconnected and we talked about it. And I was like, hey, this is my, my goal, and this is what my vision and stuff like. She's like, oh, well, this is kind of like the same vision. So from there, just to make long story short, we combined the organization. We kept the same name, SaveSouls, because in my head, I wanted to save souls, like not just spiritually, but mentally. And so then that came about in 2018. I did the event, and then we became, a nonprofit. And I think 2020, I don't remember, but
COVID happened.
COVID before COVID. So we became a nonprofit, and so we are operating in Boston and Florida now. And so that's just the whole overall mission and how it started. And we're just bringing awareness and education to the Afro-Caribbean community, and actually building up a directory now for mental health professionals that look like us, that understand the cultural.
My best friend's a therapist. I'm gonna tell her.
Please tell her, because I don't want to stop you from asking questions.
I'm about to jump in before she even asks another one.
Go ahead.
But I just noticed that there's such a lack of therapists that look like us. Especially understanding our culture, and so we're trying to build a directory that reflect that, where the therapists are culturally competent to be able to deal with, like the small things, understanding that your mom is putting pressure on you to succeed, or understanding that all they care about is when are you going to get married, when you already got the degree, and now they're telling you, when are you going to have kids? They don't know if you can have kids. You keep asking you the same question, like all of those different aspects of things. It's a lot of pressure. So overall.
I love that. I think that's definitely needed, because it's like maybe 2 months ago, the Haitian girl who was in residency to become a doctor, and she committed suicide. And I know I was talking to my mom about that. Haitians, blah, blah, blah. Why would she do that? And I was just like, honestly, if she probably dug deep down inside, did she want to do this? Or did she feel like this is all I had to do? It's like, I don't think anyone wants to end their life, but you don't have an option. That's how they feel. And I'm just like, not only the pressures of medical school, the pressures of a Haitian family. This is not to say Haitians cause people to commit suicide.
We're not saying that.
Haitian
there is a pressure that comes with that. And it's just kind of like, because what if she decided, I can't do this anymore? I don't want to. If her mom, dad, whoever in the family, you think about, okay, you want to quit being a doctor after going to college, and now you're in medical school, now you're, okay, of course. Will they ask like, oh, what made you? No, they'd be like, what, are you crazy? Tout l'argent dépensé, ou gaspillé tant. It's most likely, not every Haitian family is the same. But we can speak on this because this is what we've experienced to a certain extent. It would not come from a place of care and comfort. And imagine just being where you feel like you couldn't, to hear a mom, an aunt, an uncle, a dad, you're giving up, blah, blah, blah. I'm disappointed. Dude, I want to be done. I want to be done. And I was telling her that. She's like, wow. And I'm just like, they don't see it. And it's like, it's sad that they don't see it, because it's just kind of like, if you guys really knew, you guys could just make one little switch and things would have such a big impact. But it's like, mentally, I don't even think they're able to, because I just think about the trauma my mom probably has went through in life.
Yeah.
And it gets me so sad. And I just feel bad for even being upset at her. 'Cause I'm like, sis, you complain. She done been through A, B, C, and D. And she's still going. But it's like, is she really going? Yeah. Is she physically she's going, but mentally, where is she? She's right stuck. There. She is stuck. Yeah. And that's why we are so much mentally. And I would say, our parents want us to be smarter, but we're smarter in so many ways. It's not even education, honey. It's just understanding myself and life and where I am. It's like, I'm so far past you. I don't even know how to teach you to get to where I am.
It's crazy. She brought us so many different aspects that we can tap on. But it's just the understanding that, you know, what's crazy is that when I was doing a lot of research, and I've been trying to find a lot more research on, you know, people talking about the Afro-Caribbean mental health, and there's not so many out there. Yeah. And I noticed that it's just that women, especially Haitian women in our community, and we are prone to just take on that independence. Yeah. Because it's like Haitians overall, but like Caribbeans, it's like, let's take that independence automatically. Okay, let's go do these things. Okay, oh, well, life happens. Move on. Just get back up. Because that is what they're using as their coping mechanism. Yeah. When who's going to tell me, oh, yeah, I'm just going to sit there and mop around when I don't have nobody to pay my school? I have to get up and do it. If I don't have nobody that have like a $150K sitting there just for my college funds, I have to know that I have to get up no matter how I'm feeling to get that done. So it's like to them, automatically they are prone to just switch that, whatever is going on that's making them feel sad, switch that up and just get yourself back up and just keep going.
Imagine not being able to rest.
Now the problem,
they can't rest.
The problem with that is that understanding that, okay, you have to do that, and then just switching that off and not talking to someone about it.
They don't know how to switch it off and like have to turn to someone to talk about it. They don't know how to do that. And it's sad. I remember my mom opened up to me years before. She's like, yeah, like there were times when I had to work. Like she had worked 2 jobs. She's like, this time I'm coming back from my job and I'm crying.
Ooh, I'm getting emotional. That's making me cry because they just go through so
she's like, I'm crying. And there's times I'm like, oh, like if I do this, like not saying she would hurt herself, but in a sense, like, I'm like, it's crazy because I was young. I'm like 12, 13. Don't know what my mom's going through, and she was really going through this. And you can't have you have no one to talk about. And not saying I don't know how therapy is for them. Long time ago, I feel like now there's more advocates for therapy. But long time ago, were there people out there be like, go to therapy, go to therapy?
What was that? There's barely people that look like us that can help us. Imagine back then.
Exactly.
And the thing that upsets me the most, as much as we talk about, God loves us. God is here for us. The church continues to preach that. But I think God has put on earth people,
that's right, therapists,
people who are educated that can help. And I am tired of the church preaching the message that if you go to God, if you go to God, yes, God can heal you, but
yes,
He has put these people on earth to help.
Exactly.
So therefore, stop telling them only go to God and just like, okay, pray. And you see the person showing up to church and
that's the faith with no works right there. That is faith with no works.
God's like, here is the solution. Here's what I've given you. Go.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And you're not going.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we want to incorporate with SaveSouls is that we started doing training. It's something called mental health first aid. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's basically you just kind of training other people to recognize symptoms of mental illness in your community. So that means you don't have to be licensed to understand that, okay, this person is acting very odd. They're giving away things or, you know, the subtle things. It's like, okay, they are just sitting in bed. They don't want to take showers and stuff like that. Oh my God, she's talking about, you know, what would you do if I just give everything away and I just sell things like you know, the subtle things that somebody's around you saying this is just speaking with suicide. And you know, so it's like there's certain different things that you want to recognize in your community. It's not just, oh my gosh, you know, like just pray about it. Like you said, we have professionals equipped to help you with those things.
That prayer can do. Prayer can do a lot.
They can do a lot. They can bring you the right therapist.
Yes, they can get the right therapist on your way. When I finally decided to go to therapy, I literally met the right therapist that understood me. So it's just like, I want
Lucky you.
I know.
Because it's hard out there.
He understands me, like everything. Like, I want our community to preach more about finding therapy.
Yes.
Our community is suffering when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
And especially nowadays when we have so many people from our country who are coming from different country and coming to the state who are suffering from they're suffering from like the whole socioeconomic.
Yeah.
No housing, no food, no nothing. And you think these people came and did this whole journey without any trauma?
Yeah.
Where is the help? Where's the help? One, we need to direct them. Everyone needs to educate themselves. Our parents, everyone needs to educate themselves. But that starts with removing the stigma of mental health is crazy. Do you know that people don't go to the closest hospital to them to get help?
Because they're afraid they're gonna know someone.
They're gonna know someone.
And that is something that we kind of need to work.
Yes.
Little by little, because what it is that the stigma of people that are mentally, not okay is that they're crazy.
Yes.
And we use that word a lot, loosely. We use it loosely.
The Creole word's worse. Lifu.
Yeah.
I'm like, that hurts.
Tell me about it. It's like those people have actual real things that they need to work through.
Yeah.
And you're just putting a title like, oh, okay, they're just crazy. When in fact, this person needs to be checked up. Just like your heart is not functioning well, you need, some medication to help you with your high blood pressure. Your brain could also be chemically unbalanced and that you need, it's not your fault, and there are certain things, these are different aspects that we need to kind of talk about because people don't want to talk about it because to them it's like, you automatically crazy, you're going to try to kill me or you're this and this and that. And I don't want people to see it. And we did a survey and we were asking people, like about mental health in the Afro-Caribbean, what has stopped them from seeking out therapy and doing all of that. They were saying that, fear and the stigma. That was number one that came up as in the survey. And then they like personal choice. So that personal choice, I'm thinking in my head, is going back to the fear. So they're making a personal choice not to want to do it sometimes because it's like, I don't think I need that.
Therefore,
they're telling themselves, I don't need.
Like once you're in the system as depressed,
yes,
it's going to come back to bite you one day.
Yeah. And then they have the financial issue, which is something that also SaveSouls wants to focus on making sure that, okay, let's see if people out there want to go to therapy, but they just can't afford it. How can we sponsor that for them? You know what I mean? So financial issues and stuff like that. And obviously, like just the lack of education. So you don't understand what is mental health. You don't understand what is depression.
Specifically in Haitian culture, they don't because it's like, get job. Like this is why they push the church so much.
God.
For like those who are not Haitian, voodoo. You have a spirit on you, a demon. Yeah. But it's like the concept of mental illness doesn't exist.
The elders, the pastors, everyone will pull up to your house.
Yes.
And you have
exorcism,
7 hours of prayer
and
to cast the demons out. And I'm just like,
have a demon. In that specific case, y'all are mentally ill.
I don't know who's in the Bible who had anxiety, but I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of the disciples dealt with anxiety. And I'm
especially after Jesus died.
Tell me about it.
After resurrected.
I'm pretty sure. Go Google it. You'll find it. Go to the Bible. You'll see a whole bunch of people who had anxiety in the Bible. It's a real thing, and just making sure that you bring out those education and telling your people, no, it's okay. It's fine. Just keep breaking that stigma. And once we start having podcasts like this, just talking about it more, people will start feeling more comfortable and telling your own story. It's just normal. It's normal. It's okay. So
and that goes into our next question. What are some effective ways you think that we, like me, Tati, our friends, we can communicate better with our community and getting them to understand it and to educate them more?
There's several things, and we just mentioned one of them, making sure that you kind of create avenues so that they can be educated in that subject, and whether it is through workshops, things that trainings that's going on in your churches, because a lot of our community are in church. So let's create programs where they are getting the education they need through those workshops and through those therapy sessions. Well, I would say not therapy sessions because they can you guys understand, just through those programs that are happening at church. And if you have peer support groups, there's a lot of different peer support group programs out there. Just try to make sure that you share those avenues with people, and also just talking about it more, just bringing awareness to that subject it really does go a long way, whether we like it or not. Some people just hear you talk about it right now, like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should go check out a therapist. You know what I mean? I'll go check out the website and see somebody that can understand. And also making sure that you are partnering up with professionals that are culturally competent, because that is a big thing, especially in our community. Like no offense, I'm pretty sure everybody else have, like they can, if a Caucasian lady come and try to talk to me about, immigration, she won't understand me, me telling them, and oh yeah, I came to this country and I had to kind of migrate and kind of get comfortable and understand and adapt and try to figure out the culture, understand the language and all of that, and the pressure of my parents. There's to a certain extent where she will be able to understand, but it's not gonna be like, okay, let me see how to better help you and kind of ask the right questions to redirect you, things like that. So we just need to make sure that we partner up with professionals who have the cultural competencies for that. What else? I think those are the key factors. I would say the education, bringing awareness and talking about it, and making sure that you partner up with organizations that have professional, culturally competent for it.
So you talked about earlier, like how SaveSouls started, and you said it wasn't until you were in nursing school you're like, oh yeah, maybe, and have a little depression. Is there a specific moment in your life where you can think back, like, okay, this is too much? Like I have mental health issues. Like for me, was it November and December of last year? It's now I can realize and look like, I was depressed. Like it wasn't just anxiety. It developed to depression. Like every time I took a shower, I would throw up. So then I stopped taking showers. Oh, wow. Like I would get really, because I was studying for my boards and I had failed already, and the pressure of that. I was like headaches every single day, crying. There was a day I didn't go outside for how many days. I went outside, I was like, oh, it's cold. Yeah. Like I felt the air, like, wow. Like there's weather. There's a life outside, because ordering Uber Eats every single day, like it just went downhill. So is there a time in your life where you're just like, okay, this is the moment where I realized, like, yes, I have mental health? Actually,
there is. Matter of fact, like even when I did the event, I remember doing the event with the youth, and I actually was going through life, and I was going to nursing school, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like I feel down, but I don't know how to deal with this thing. And I went on and I just ignored the fact that I was down. And so what I did was, my avenue was creating SaveSouls to kind of make sure that I can mask that feeling of depression. So it's like, oh, well, if I can help other people, then maybe I will be okay. So I reverted back to that aspect of trying to help other people. But really, I was going through the pressure of trying to make sure that my parents are, like happy and doing things for them, and making sure that, they're okay. Are they proud of me? And all of those different things. And I was going through so many things in my family personally that I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot, like, can I really just brush this off or just keep going? And so there are so many different avenues where I was like, okay, I started noticing the symptoms. And obviously I'm very grateful for my husband, because he actually helped me realize it as well. He was like, you know what? You're actually going through something, but you are kind of like taking that different avenue to kind of make sure that everybody else is okay but yourself, so that you can mask that, everything's going to be okay. And so once I started kind of checking that and realizing, okay, this is not okay. I cannot just ignore my own personal mental health, keep going on and just get up and go and not take care of that. Then I checked in. I was like, okay, I need a therapist. And I checked in, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get into therapy. And I started explaining all of those things to her. And she made me realize, you're living for your family. You're living for your parent. You're not living for yourself. You're not living for yourself. You're trying to accomplish all of these things that God didn't even tell you to, do in the first place. But because you're trying to make sure your family is happy with you, and try to be accepted into the society of, the pressure and the society and the how would we call this kind of the thing that they hold you up to, success. It's like, okay, once you do this, then you're successful. The standard of success. And it's like, that's really, which you realize later, well, that there's really no standard of success. There's really no standard.
Everyone has their own standards.
Exactly. And so, and that was a hard realization. Very hard realization, but I'm glad I got to it, and I'm just more happy about it. I'm so much more happy about it. So
it's interesting what you said, like you just kept going on. I was reading an article a couple of months ago, and they're saying in Black women, depression shows up differently. So it's not the typical standards of like, I can't get out of bed, I can't eat, I can't sleep. It's like, I'm still going. I'm still going. And it's just like, which is weird, because it's kind of like, when you're still going, no one's gonna see it.
Yeah.
No one sees
Yeah.
you when you're still going. No one sees you when you're trying to,
Yep.
because everything's normal from
Exactly.
the outside.
Mhm.
So which is why, like, in Black women, depression's not diagnosed as
It's
often
not.
as it should.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then you're getting medication for anxiety,
Mhm.
this and that, and it's like, oh no, I'm depressed. You don't
Yeah.
see it
Yeah.
because I'm not the typical standard what depression looks like.
Yeah.
But then this also because of the concept of I'm a strong Black woman.
There. Oh
Yeah.
my
I
God.
can't stop. I
Oh.
can't. Like, I remember just in my mom's life, the
Mm.
one time she stopped was when my mom and dad split after 15 years, more than 15 years. She stayed in bed for a week, still went to work though. She would cry.
Yeah.
I would make her breakfast, go to work, come home, cry.
Yeah.
And like I said, it only lasted a week from what I could see. And
Mm.
she kept going. And I'm just like, I wonder how long you were depressed for.
Oh.
That you just had to because you couldn't
You
stop.
can't stop.
You
Yeah.
can't stop. And it's just like, no one else would know because you continue going. So it's interesting that you say you just kept going.
Yeah, and like you said, in the Black woman, but we're also noticed that in obviously the immigrant household, that's what they do. That's what you see.
Yeah.
So you're just reflecting what you see.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going and going and going,
That's
and
what
everything,
I've seen.
and it's like a whole bunch of stuff is going to the roof in the house, but everybody's ignoring it and
'Cause they
acting like
can't-
it's okay.
They couldn't afford to stop.
Yeah.
Can you
Exactly.
imagine? I have bills. I'm an immigrant. I have my kid, but I'm gonna stop for my mental health.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna stop
There's
to
no
cry.
Selfish.
There-
Everybody back in Haiti would have you with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, on team one, it's like,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
if I'm not good, they're not good.
They're not good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so we just have to kind of make sure that we are still giving ourselves grace
Mhm.
and understanding that it's okay. We're not getting it right, right now,
Yeah.
but just the willingness to getting it right.
Because
It's like,
eventually you're gonna crash.
eventually,
Crash.
there you
Yep.
go. That
Going
part.
to crash.
Yep. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
To all us.
Get the help immediately
Yeah.
when you know.
Because the crashing sometimes, unfortunately, leads to I'm taking my life because
Yeah.
I don't know
you
what.
can't handle
And
it.
so when
Yeah.
you go to Haiti and you see those people who they call fou,
Yeah.
they have schizophrenia, they have all these kind of
Mhm.
things. There's a lot of factors that were
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
from before. It's like, okay, the person was waking up, they're not able to sleep, they're not eating well,
Yeah.
they can't, there's so many different factors that plays
Yeah.
a role into
Do
them
you guys-
crashing.
Do you guys know that schizophrenia can develop by the age of like in our 20s?
Yeah, it usually
Yeah.
develops in 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
really,
it's like,
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be careful.
You need
Yeah.
to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's serious. Our mental health, as much as we they preach physicals, go to physical, get that checked.
that should be
Get that checked.
like,
Yeah, like quarterly.
yeah.
But did you
Quarterly.
know also that your physical is actually very connected to your mental?
Oh,
People don't want to preach
I
about
told
that.
you I
but
was
it's-
throwing up every time I went to the shower.
Yeah.
Like my symptoms become
Yeah.
physical
My
now.
body shuts down.
Yeah.
I get when I'm tired, body shuts down. I was
Mhm.
telling my fiance the other day, I'm just like, I feel like when I'm tired,
I love when you say
mentally-
that. I was telling my fiance the other day, we just have to stop it.
when
Yeah.
I was talking to her, I feel like my mind and my body obviously are connected.
Yeah.
When I'm tired, I feel like I've been sleeping enough. I'm good.
Mhm.
I feel healthy, but because my mind is so tired,
Yeah.
my body
Mhm.
just feels tired. Not physically, but it's just tired.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's just like you have to know when to just rest. And lately, something I've been looking into, and maybe you can just put some insight on that, is that what is the difference from a therapist and a psychiatrist?
So with a therapist, they are able to talk to you and just kind of get you to understand, like they will do the non-medical
Yeah.
the non-medication aspect, whereas a psychiatrist, sometimes they will be able to talk to you, but it's not focused
Yeah.
based on that. A psychiatrist will be able to prescribe medication. They will give you medication for your anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Every single thing they on the
Yeah.
list, they're basically a medical doctor, but they're just their specialty is just the
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
So they will be able to prescribe you those medications. So
Medications.
if you're, and that's why a lot of times where people will come to the hospital, because I was working in psych, and what I noticed that they were coming frequent flyers. They're just coming. We call them frequent flyers. They'll come back because what it is that you're just getting the medication,
Yeah.
and once they're off their meds, they'll be back. But it's like if you're not doing the hard work, and that's where I want to kind of advocate for doing the work early on.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, guys, we do understand there are some people with their biochemical, whatever is
Yeah.
going on with their genetics, where they are predisposed to getting mental health
Yeah.
disorders
Yeah.
more than others, which we can understand that means that they will require those medication in order for them to function and have a balanced, brain. But for those of us who know we've been depressed for a long time now, we're not seeing things yet.
Yeah.
Or we don't need to get that far. Yeah, we don't need to get that far. The moment you and as I was going to therapy, sorry, I'm going off the rail here, but as I was going to therapy, I was talking to my therapist, and she was saying that, don't manage your anxiety when it's at 10. Manage it when it's at 3.
Yeah.
Because if you're managing your anxiety when it's at 10, like, it's already too late, honey. You're already to the roof.
Exactly.
But if you notice, oh, shoot, I'm getting anxious right now. I'm getting anxious. What should I do? Start practicing your coping skills. Whatever it is, start journaling or count to 1 to 100 or do those little techniques that you are taught in therapy to calm yourself down before you get damage. It's the same thing the doctor will tell you. Instead of coming to me and try to prevent to get a more heart attack, just make sure you exercise and stop eating stop eating poorly, some greasy food.
Yeah.
Take care of your health before so that you can avoid, crying later. But but to go back to psychiatry, just, prescribe the medication. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to touch on, because SaveSouls is so mental health heavy, do you ever feel like it takes a toll on your own mental health always being in that space?
Yes. So recently, I know you guys probably would hear those news. Haiti had an earthquake, and then they had the flood as well. And so, well, not recently. I would say way before that. So when they had they actually had 2 earthquakes. Yeah. You guys know that. So with the second one, we decided to take it upon ourselves to do a mental health relief program, and I was so anxious. It was so ridiculous. My husband had to calm me down because I was so anxious trying to find a way to kind of help. So what I did is we kind of created some flyers and reached out to therapists who were in Haiti, who actually, were educated in the subject to be able to reach out to people in their area. And yes, they will need physical help, but we need them to be okay mentally too, because after such trauma, you need to process things. You need somebody there to help you process them the correct way. And so we connected with mental health therapists, and they reached out, and some people actually, reached out. We were able to help a couple of people, at least, 10 to 20 people. And they reached out like, thank you so much for helping. But I realized I was so anxious, Tati, because I literally was taking on that toll on me. I was like, oh my gosh,
I have to save the world.
That mentality. And I was like, okay, I need a break. But thankfully, I have a great team of people who also kind of collaborate and kind of help with those things. And so my cousin Patricia, she's amazing. So it's like we kind of piggyback off of each other. Okay, let's make this work. And we have other people added onto our team now, which is great. But yeah, it does take a toll on me. And I have to remind myself, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. You're helping other people, but still take care of yourself. Make sure you make yourself a priority. And that's what I have to fall back on. But yeah.
At the end of the day, always choose yourself.
Choose yourself first.
Always choose yourself.
Like
even
the
when
airplane.
you have,
like the airplane.
Yeah.
You put your mask on.
Yeah.
You got to save yourself,
Oxygen.
and then you can save everybody else. You can't be the best mom, wife,
anything.
Yeah, daughter. You got to pick yourself first, and then my kids are gonna think I'm selfish.
Yep, and I'm okay with that.
Because hey, when mommy's having a bad day, I'm gonna be like, listen, mommy needs a break.
Literally, but I think it's okay to normalize. I need some time alone.
Yeah,
just like your kids.
I recharge alone, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
I recharge alone.
Yeah,
like after this, I'm gonna go to my corner.
I recharge alone too.
Yeah.
Oh well. Thank you so much, Obelle. It has come to an end, guys. Obelle has given us a lot of information.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time, your time. I know that you're very busy.
Oh, girl.
So really
I'm never too busy for you, sister in love.
So, you're going to be our Melanin Monday.
Oh.
So with our Melanin Monday, you get to tell us about you. You already told us about you, but like anything that you want to share, as in like where people can find you, where they can support, how can they support? Is there any new events that are coming up that they can support? Anything new that you want to share with them?
Yeah. Oh, well, this is putting me on the spot. I hate being on the spot, but it's okay. Yeah, well, I'm so happy that you guys, you ladies, gorgeous ladies, educated ladies, invited me to join this podcast. And for those of you who would like to kind of, keep up with me a little bit, go on my social media. It's Obelle Pluvios. It's at Obelle Pluvios, just my name. And SaveSouls is going to be SaveSouls Inc. And so you can also find us on our website, which is www.savesoulsinc.org. and you'll be able to find all of the information. And as far as new events, we have something that is just tailored for therapists. We are partnering up with a therapist right now to do a retreat for them, because they take care of so many people. So then it's going to be just about them, making sure that they're okay. And also they will provide CEUs. So we'll have people, if you need CEUs for your classes, so that way you are encouraged to just come and just relax and chill, but also get a little credit for that.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're going to be working on. It's not too much information yet about it, but once we do, if you keep up with us in our newsletter on SaveSoulsInc.org, you'll be able to get all of those information. But thank you guys. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Thank you.
And again, Obelle.
Yes.
Thank you so much again, sis. Thank you for taking the time again.
Sure.
And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Again, thank you for tuning in to Good Luck Sis. And I'll catch you guys on our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.